Here today to talk to you about the emancipation of consonance. Now, in 1926, Schoenberg did an awful thing. He wrote The Emancipation of Dissonance, which stated that dissonance should not be treated any different than consonance. And this is what happened. As you can hear, it doesn't sound like there's a direction to the piece. It just all sounds like noise, like a cat rocking on the piano. Okay, so now that that's offended our ears enough, consonance should be allowed to exist in music once more. See, because the 12-tone music that he wrote, it doesn't outline any consonant chords. So, in order to ensure that nothing like this ever happens again, we have to destroy all dissonant music and set up specific laws and regulations about what kind of music can be written. Now, my basic assumptions and rules are that all music should be beautiful, because dissonance causes tension in the body and darkness in the mind. It is to be avoided altogether. This means there should be no prominent tritones, half-step dissonances, minor seventh, major seventh, sorry, augmented fifth, or diminished seventh chords. Wait, yeah, that's right. See, you can't even tell the difference. Okay, the perfect key is C major. Any music not written in that key has to be destroyed forever. And all instruments capable of creating tones outside of this, for example that piano, must be modified or destroyed. So for example on the piano, we just have to take off all the black keys and make it so that it's impossible for it to make any other pitches. Now, this will come at the unfortunate cease of some instruments, such as the violin, which will have to be destroyed, because there's no real way to modify it in order to make it so it can't create chromatic pitches. But this is all for the betterment of mankind. Now, I was questioned, Brian, how would you stop people from singing on chromatic pitches? And the answer is quite simple. We'll put them under house arrest until they decide that they no longer need to do that. Fortunately, we have people who are ahead of the game. People who already fit these guidelines are rap, country music, anything by Taylor Swift, and anything by Justin Bieber, because they all use only 3 chords and there is no dissonance. Now we have some specific examples, such as Hey There Delilah, which only has 2 chords. That's major 1, minor 3. They can create a profound musical effect.
Sounds quick and shine as bright as you. I swear it's true. Hey there, Delilah, don't you worry about the distance I'm right.
Okay. And One Direction, What Makes You Beautiful. The simplest of all chord formulas ever created.
You're insecure, don't know what for. You're turning heads when you walk through the door. Don't need makeup to cover up.
And you can even hear the other 2.
Everyone else in the room can see it. Everyone else but you. Baby, you light up my world like no
great musical writing. Okay, other examples are Paramore, the only exception, Rebecca Black, Friday, Green Day, Boulevard of Broken Dreams, the chorus, and, of course, my own personal composition, the Song of One Note, which I'll perform for you today. Now, included in my composition are characteristics that all of these bands have already put forth. The first of which is repetition. It's a little small. Okay, non-words, such as ooh or yeah. Stating the obvious. Using the tonic note as much as possible. That's the home. And never frustrating musical expectations. And it is called The Song of One Note. This is the song of one note. Its tagline only has one note, but it's the greatest song ever written. The most beautiful song ever written. Now we've added some new notes, made it to 3 chords. Yeah. This is the song of one note. Contains all the complexity of Taylor Swift's career. Maybe just say it's just a song of one note. 3 chords, 3 verses, and mostly one note. This is the song of one note. Only missing lame lyrics, auto-tune, and someone to swoon. This is the song of one note. Let me see. I repeated the same thing a lot. I used tonic on the tagline, so the one light, it was only one note. I stated the obvious, and I used non-words. So it's a great composition. Why dissonance is evil? It spreads evil vibrations throughout the world. Its intervals are not found in nature, such as in bird calls or whistling branches. And it cannot be beautiful because it supports death and despair. Now, consonant music. Major chords cause a feeling of well-being and enriches people's lives. And if music was only written in one key, then we could return to even-tempered tuning, meaning that well-tempered tuning would no longer be needed. And there are not a lot of extraordinarily difficult compositions in C major, so people wouldn't have to play as hard music. Okay, now well-tempered tuning, it makes it so that every key in the piano is slightly out of tune, so that we can play all the keys without having to retune every time we change keys. So as you can see the difference, it shows it in sense, between, for example, well-tempered and even-tempered. So as you can see, it's like as much as, 10% of a difference in the pitch of the note, which is pretty substantial. And the power chords, what they use in metal music and things like that, consists of unison, fifth, and octave. As you can see, the ear prefers the pitches that are normally already in tune with the well-tempered as well as even. And my call to action. The destruction of music rises to a level of intellectual stimulation where people have to think about music. All will be lost. And action must be taken today to stop the increasing complexity of music by reducing the number of possible chords and keys. So music can only be beautiful. The property of music to effect will be heightened by the simplicity. And even temper tuning will reduce the chains that bind music today. The unpleasing sound of chromatic pitches will be removed from the world, and musical extremists such as Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms will be forgotten forever. Now, if we simply ignore the emotions expressed by dissonant music, such as death, sadness, and despair, everyone will lead happier and better lives. Thank you.